And I would say the things that, the three of you have in common is that you are all rocking your business, growing your team, just doing incredible things. And you've navigated a lot of challenges over the last couple of years. The industry has changed a lot. And so I want to hear in each of you, in your own words, really what's working for you right now, right? So, what is working? Is it in person that you're doing? Is it social? Is it more digital marketing? Where are you putting a focus on in your business to really elevate it and take it to the next level? Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I am so excited for all of you to be here with us today because I have brought some incredible guests for you to meet and learn more about their direct sales business, what's working here in 2024 for them, and just super excited for you to hear from these fabulous ladies. So welcome, Sheri, Laura, Lauren. So excited you're here with me today. Let's just jump in. We have a lot to cover in a short period of time. So I'd love to hear, just in a nutshell, a little of your direct sales story about when you started, the company you're working with, maybe where you live, a little bit about if you're working outside the home or if this is your primary focus. So Sheri, you want to kick us off and just share a quick little intro?
Sure thing. Hi, everybody. I'm Sheri Friederichs. I live on a farm, actually, in rural Minnesota. I have been with Tastefully Simple for 26 years. I love it. I love the lifestyle I've built. Back a couple of years ago when I was in college, I never ever thought I would do something like this, but it really has granted me the flexibility. First when I started, we have 4 daughters to work around them. And now as I'm a little bit more seasoned, I can play pickleball 3 days a week. I can take a personal day and watch my grandchildren, work when I want to work. So I absolutely love it. And I am a diamond leader, which is one of the top leader levels in the Tastefully Simple world. So thanks for having me, Becky.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. Laura, you want to give a quick intro for us?
Hey, my name is Laura Vandiford, and I live in Greenville, North Carolina. The company that I work with is J. Bloom Jewelry, and they also have a new division called Permalinks, which is permanent jewelry. But I've been with the company for 7 years, and I joined when my last child, Kate, so I have 3 kids, was born, and I really wanted something as an addition to my income so that I could start working part-time so that I could be at home with my kids more. And so I work part-time as a pharmacist. And so my business is called Prescription for Style. And I have loved it. It's been an amazing. I can work part-time and still keep my clinical skills, but also add something fun to my life and stay at home with my kids more.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Thank you, Laura. Okay, popping over to you, Lauren.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Gregory. I am also a farm girl, much like Sheri. That's something we have in common. My husband's family owns a farm and we live there. I'm a full-time special education teacher, and I'm in Newfoundland on the east coast of Canada, as far east as you can go in North America. And I joined Color Street in May of 2022. And with them all that time, I hadn't planned on building a business. I was a total kidnapper. I joined for the deals, and now I'm here and I'm loving it. And I've built a great business and had so much fun with it. So really happy to be here. Thank you, Becky.
Oh my gosh. Thanks for being here. And I want to say that I totally planned this on purpose, but I love that we have such diversity from direct sales being primary income to working part-time to working full-time across all different areas of the country, both in the US and in Canada. So I just love that we have all come together today for this episode. And I would say the things that, the three of you have in common is that you are all rocking your business, growing your team, just doing incredible things. And you've navigated a lot of challenges over the last couple of years. The industry has changed a lot. And so I want to hear in each of you, in your own words, really what's working for you right now, right? So what is working? Is it in person that you're doing? Is it social? Is it more digital marketing? Where are you putting a focus on in your business to really elevate it and take it to the next level? So can I start with you, Lauren? We'll go the opposite way around this time.
Sure, happy to kick it off. So I absolutely love doing in-person home parties and vendor events, but I find that all of my customers still want to do the online Facebook parties. So that's where I'm hanging out most of the time. I try and do one in-person event every month, but I have like an online party going every week. So that's where I'm spending the bulk of my time, and it's mostly on Facebook. I've branched out a little bit into Instagram and trying TikTok and YouTube and all the things, but Facebook is still my comfort zone and it's working well for me. So
That's
why change
exciting
something
to
that works
hear.
well, right?
Yeah. Well, and I love that you're saying that because I do feel like there's a little bit of a myth maybe out there in the industry right now that like Facebook is dead or there's not any action on Facebook or it's hard to sell on Facebook. And the algorithm things have definitely changed over the last couple of years, but you are still building a big, thriving business primarily on Facebook with one in-person event a month. So that's incredible. I love it. Laura, tell us a little bit about how you're working your biz these days.
Well, I think that my business has definitely changed with the addition of permalinks because with permanent jewelry, you have to be in person. So I still do a lot of social selling in my stories on Instagram and my VIP group. But since we've added permalinks, those are all in person events. So we're doing pop ups, either vendor events or in home. You can even do weddings or birthday parties, anything like that. But yeah, definitely a shift when they added permalinks to our business. So we're seeing a lot more in-person events now, which is awesome.
Yeah, so fun. Okay, and Sheri, how about you?
Right. Well, I do a lot of different things. I always have. I do in-person tasting experiences, also known as parties, right? I probably do 4 a month. I do online parties, still love that. I do events, deliver products, do porch deliveries. I'm a people person, so honestly, I love in-person tasting experiences and events better than online, but I love online too because I can do 3 or 4 in a week and sell and connect on my own time. So I love to do a variety of things.
Oh my gosh. I think the moral of the story here is there's lots of different ways to sell and be successful right now. And it's maybe a little bit different than back in the day when it was kind of this is the one path that you take to success. There are so many different areas of your business that you can touch and people to connect with. And I think part of it is also meeting customers where they're at and serving them in a way that they like to be served, whether that's in person or on social. So I love that we, again, have a variety of kind of perspectives and hearing what's working for you. Laura, why don't you tell us something that you're proud of or something that you've accomplished here in 2024? And also maybe something that you're looking to accomplish before the year is over. Let's kind of take it 2 ways, what we've done
Okay.
so far this year and what we're looking forward to doing.
So I'm just really super proud of my team. They are rocking and rolling. We have had record enrollments, new ladies, being starting their own permalinks business, and we've had record sales. So that is all amazing. But also I am super excited about starting my Oh My High website. It's almost finished and I'm very, very excited about, having that and being able to email my customers and stuff at the Oh My High website.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that. I love that. And you guys over at J Bloom are just rocking things. I mean, the time we're
Yes.
recording this episode is at the start of September. And I think all of the results just came in from August and it was a
It was
record
insane.
breaking month. And I mean, those double trip points for incentive
Yes.
trips, I mean, that will definitely give everyone a
Yes.
nice kick in the butt, but it has been such a joy to watch. So I'm cheering you on. Sheri, what about you? Something you've accomplished this year and still working to finish up before the year is over?
Well, I'm still doing it. I'm just kidding. I always like to be top 10 in sales and sponsoring. And I was in sales this past conference. It was a month ago. And then I just found out yesterday I was top in sales for the entire company. So that's exciting. Excuse me, top in sponsoring. Well, what the heck? Top in sponsoring.
Sales, sponsoring, all the things. Sheri's at the
Whatever.
top.
Yeah, whatever. And then what I'm most looking forward to, as the rest of you here, fourth quarters always the best. So when I'm sharing on my team page, what are your victories? There's a heck of a lot more activity because people are sharing what's working. So I just love the fourth quarter and love to see my team shine, whether it's at, parties, events, or whatever they're doing. So it's such a fun time. So I'm really looking forward to that.
That is amazing. Well, congratulations on being at the top. That is quite the accomplishment. I'm so proud of you. And I'm with you. I feel like September just kicks off the fall season, kicks off the fourth quarter. Like people are they're spending more money in the fourth quarter. They're gift giving. They're more generous. If you're doing fundraisers, donations, it's my favorite time of the year. So I'm looking forward to that as well. How about you, Lauren? What are you excited about?
I was excited this year. I attended my first conference in person. Last year I had attended virtually. And being there in person this year, I'm really proud that I got to walk the stage a couple of times. But the biggest one was I was top sales in Canada, #1 in the country, in my second year in this. And it's not even my full-time job. I do this part-time. So I was super proud of that.
My gosh,
And
that is amazing. I'm learning new things here. I mean, I work with you guys all very closely and I'm like, what? We're bragging rights. Congratulations. Okay, before the end of the year, Lauren, what are you working towards?
I've got my Oh My High site up, but it needs to be updated, much like Laura. I'm working on that. But I'm also really focused on growing my team this year. And I want to add 2 more team members every month to finish out the year. That'll make me really, really happy.
Oh my gosh, that is incredible. Oh, I love this so much. Well, let's talk about Oh My High. And I know all three of you are part of our Academy VIP programs. You have early access to Oh My High before it officially launches with email marketing and the CRM coming in November. So everyone will be looking at your site and lurking and being like, oh, what did they do? How are they using this? So totally leading the way in that sense. And all of you have been part of the Modern Direct Seller community for a little bit. So I'd love to hear maybe just your favorite parts of being a part of the Academy as well. Sheri, you want to kick us off?
Sure. Well, I absolutely love having time with you, Becky. I mean, that is like crazy.
Right back at
amazing. Yeah, crazy amazing. I love having access to like the vault or different things for trainings and just the forward focused positive energy. And everybody's so willing to share and help cheer each other on. So I really value that.
Yeah, it is a great community. I mean, I have the privilege of leading it, but it really is our incredible members that make it what it is. So love that. Laura, how about you?
I love how many group activities you have that we can join on. And even if we can't be there in person, we can always watch the replay. And people share so many new ideas. I feel like Becky is always in the know. And if Becky has not done it, she knows someone that's done it. And she can say, oh, let me connect you with so and so. And I know that they've tried this out. So that's one of my favorite things because I never felt behind. I never felt like, oh, somebody's doing something that I haven't heard about before. And the community is amazing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is so fun to kind of stay up on the trends. And we've seen a lot of changes over the last couple of years. Like I said, there isn't just one roadmap or one path to success. And one thing that I love working with all of you is that we can kind of customize that and tailor that to your needs and what you're working on and where your focus is. And somebody might be working on more high, but somebody else might be working on team growth, and somebody else could be working on elevating their personal sales. So it's a lot of fun to really create content in a way that I kind of get to see how all of you respond to it and test it out and give me feedback. Oh, that worked and that didn't really work. Or we're going to try this different. So that's a lot of fun from where I sit too. So Lauren, how about you? Favorite parts of the Academy?
Well, everything that Sheri and Laura have just said, the personalized coaching and the access to the team and the community is amazing. But I also really love the resources you provide. Like the Best Year Ever workbook really helps me focus in on the numbers of my business and think about things in a different way. And the monthly progress reports, we fill out what our successes and challenges have been in a month. And then we get a report from you giving some ideas and tips on how to improve things in the coming month. It's just overall so like comprehensive, and having such personalized access to you and to all of the team is amazing. I feel like I'm part of a community and not just that I'm paying for a training thing, which is amazing. Thank you.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Thank you, Lauren. Yeah, and I do think that looking at those numbers and creating a plan every month and holding yourself accountable to that plan that you create is so important. And I mean, I do this in my own business, but I also have the accountability of working with a coach that can say, like, all right, well, what are you working towards? And like, what are the numbers? And how's that launch going? And where are you at on this? And just taking the time to write it down and think about it at the start of each month makes all the difference in the world, because we're all busy ladies. Some are working full time, some are playing pickleball 3 days a week. Like, we're doing all the things, right? But really carving out that time to be intentional about where we want to go as business owners is just absolutely huge. So I love that call out. I'm going to ask you a question that I didn't put on our list ahead of time. So we're going to just roll with it here. But I want to ask you, I mean, all three of you are leaders, you're building teams, you're growing your personal business, you're juggling all the things. So I'd love to hear if you have any tips or advice for any of our listeners that might be thinking, gosh, like, I want to be in that spot. I want to play pickleball 3 days a week. Oh, I want to have more flexibility to stay home with my kids, or I want to be walking the stage and being honored as number one in sales. What is it that you feel like keeps you going, even maybe when things are a little bit more challenging or feels overwhelming? Any tips or advice for our listeners? And we'll see who wants to go first here. I'll let you guys shout it out.
I'll go first, Becky. I would say, have accountability partners or just even like friends in the industry, that if you are having a bad day, which happens to all of us, you have someone to call, right? And then, I mean, there's just some days you're going to be more motivated than others. So don't be too hard on yourself, but you can't just see what happens. You need to have some goals, and that's not a bad word. Yeah. So surround yourself with positive people also that believe in you and you believe in them, and you help each other out.
I love that. Well, Sheri, I know you're my numbers girl. Like, we were always talking like, okay, numbers wise, I'm X% above or below where I was this time last year. Like, tell me what's going on. So I love that you're always like, let's get to the numbers. Let's talk about how things are shifting and changing. So that's such great advice. Lauren or Laura, anything from you both? Yeah.
Sure, I can go. For me, the advice I always give people is just be consistent and work in your business every single day. There's lots of days I don't feel like doing it, but making sure I check those things off my list every day, the ABCs, and I've got like a recruiting call every day, and I've got all these things in my checklist that I do. And then getting the confetti, of course, once I've done all of my things really helps push me. But I set my alarm an hour earlier. I get up an hour each morning and I try and do as much as I can before I go to work, because I know there's days I'm going to come home and not want to touch my business. And that's okay. If I can put the effort in when I have the time, that works. But just do it even when you don't feel like it. It pays off in the long run.
I'm not even an early bird, and I love that advice. No matter what time you start your day, though, like doing the harder things first and getting it done and checked off the list. And so you're feeling like you're starting your day already set up for success. So I think that's a really great advice, no matter if you're working full time or you got littles at home or where you're at, just really carving out that time, being consistent, being intentional, and getting it done, even when you don't feel like it. Because you're right, by 8 p.m. at night, like there's a lot of things I don't feel like doing that I maybe could have done 12 hours earlier. Laura, anything from you?
I would say, because I have, high school age down to a 7-year-old, we have a crazy schedule. So definitely making sure that I have my schedule planned out, at least for the month, if not for the, month ahead, and knowing what my availability is, and time blocking. Time blocking's been really great for me, because I know that I have this amount of time to get something done, but really, just trying to stay on a schedule and stay focused is probably the most important thing for me.
Yeah, creating that plan, sticking to it. But absolutely, no matter how busy you are, right? Having that blocked out on your calendar so you have a plan going into the month. Like, I love that you said, when you're available, when you're not available, because when somebody wants to book the next boutique with you, or if someone wants to grab a call or grab coffee, when you're available and when you can say yes to those things. And also still prioritize the things that matter most, right? And I think that's the luxury of being in this business, is that we can prioritize and have that flexibility and have the downtime where we're not working our business and we're doing other things that we really love. So So good. I feel like I could talk to you guys all day long, but I do want to be mindful of everyone's time because I hope that they're listening to the podcast while, driving to the grocery store, folding laundry, or all those other glamorous activities that we get to do. So I'd love to hear, as we're wrapping up, just for fun, what is your favorite office supply? And of course, where can we learn more about you and your business? Sheri, want to kick us off?
Sure. Pilot gel pen. Fine.
Yeah.
That is my favorite. I know it's not erasable like what you like, Becky, but I've always loved these. And I finally, have my drawer over here with all my pens in it. Finally got rid of all the other ones. And I just have
That's
these
a big deal.
drawer. I know. Why didn't I do that years ago? Anyway.
I literally was in a storage closet the other day and I found like 4 giant Ziploc bags of pens and pencils that they're not my favorites. And I didn't have the heart to let them go.
I know.
Might have just motivated me.
I have the same.
And where can we find you, Sheri? Where can we learn more about your business and everything that you're doing?
Gosh, what do I say to that? What do I give them? I don't know, Becky. You tell me. Like my
website,
cell phone,
social? Yeah, wherever you want to talk to people.
Okay, I'm just going to say 701-403-7164. Call or text me. I'm still learning. I am on social, but I'm just going to leave it at that.
Love that. Sheri, you are not the first person to give out your phone number on the podcast. I think the first one was my friend Gordon over at Blue Canoe. He was like, you want to talk about live streaming sales? Like, just call me. And I was like, Gordon, did you just give everyone your phone number? So you are not the first to pass out a phone number on the podcast. We will link to that and your social channels on the show notes. Laura, how about you? Favorite office supply and where can we find you?
Becky, you got me onto the friction pens. I love them. They're like the classic. I mean, you got to go with those, right?
I love them.
They're the best. And since I started using them, like I give them as gifts, like to my girls, because I'm like, if you don't use these are the best ever.
Sheri, we might have to convert you.
You might.
Oh my gosh. I do love the Glide. I know the pen you're talking about. It has very smooth. It is smooth sailing. But that erasable pen, you can switch out all the colors. All right, Laura, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram under Prescription for Style or on Facebook. And then also my website, prescriptionforstyle.com.
I love it. We will check it out. And Lauren, do you have a favorite pen? What are you coming in with?
It's the Modern Direct Seller Friction Erasable.
Sheri, it's 3 against 1 now.
Oh my gosh. I know. Peer pressure.
The friction.
I have also given these as gifts. All the teachers in my building have these now. So thank you.
So fun. They are so fun. Okay, so the real thing now you have to know about is all the colors that you can swap out. Right? Have you tried that? So when your pen dies, you can just get the replacement ink and it just works beautifully. And then you can have a purple pen and a pink pen and a green pen and all the fun colors beyond your blue and black. Lauren, where can we find you?
I'm going to give you my Oh My High site because I'm just getting it up and going and it has links to all my socials and I got to look at my notes so I make sure I do it right. It's Lauren, LAUREN.ohmyhigh.com. So you can find me there.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, ladies. Well, thank you so much for being here today and sharing a little glimpse into your business. I think out of all of the takeaways from this episode, it really shows that no matter where you're at in terms of family, work life, or how you like to sell, there is so much opportunity and you are all just killing it in so many different aspects of your business and doing it in different ways, which I think is just a really beautiful thing. So thank you for being here. Thanks for being one of my VIPs inside the Modern Direct Seller Academy. I've loved our conversation today. And if you're listening into this episode, we have our Modern Direct Seller Challenge starting next week. So make sure you go save your seat over at moderndirectseller.com/challenge. It is totally free to participate. And you'll get a nice little glimpse of some of those things we talked about today. Having consistency in your business, having a game plan, focus, time management, and how all of those little daily activities really add up in a big way. So I hope to see you all in the challenge. Sheri, Laura, Lauren, thank you so much for being here. I just think the world of all three of you and so appreciate our conversation today. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
We are proud to welcome CinchShare as the newest sponsor of the Modern Direct Seller podcast. CinchShare is the #1 most trusted social media platform for network marketers, direct sellers, affiliates, independent consultants, virtual assistants, small businesses, and creators in any industry. Start your 30-day trial today with coupon code GAMECHANGER and spend less time posting and more time socializing.